Hello everybody, in this video I am going to be making some pumpkin puree out of a pumpkin, and this is good to be doing like during the holidays, these holidays where they sell the pumpkins. Just buy them, bake them up, make some pumpkin puree, because you can do so many recipes with pumpkin puree. It stays in the fridge for about a week and then in the freezer for months. So that all you need is just pumpkin, baking sheet with parchment paper, your knife, and of course something to scoop the seeds out with. So all you're gonna do is start cutting your pumpkin in half. Kind of tough. And then just split it in half, and then with some kind of a scooper, spoon or whatever, we're gonna scoop that out. Okay, so I'm using an ice cream scoop. You can save the seeds if you want and then just bake them up. You want to try to clean up as much as you can. When you're done scooping everything out, you should have all of this in a bowl. And then what you do, if you're going to want to keep the seeds, just take off all this stuff here, remove the seeds. It's a little bit more tricky, a little bit more work, but that's if you want to keep the seeds. We've got our pumpkins here. So clean them out the best that you can. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna put it on your baking sheet down. You don't want to put it like that because it's not gonna cook right. They have to be like this. And then make sure your oven is preheated to 350. It depends on your oven temperature, so I usually do mine at 350, and it takes between 40 to 50 minutes for them to get softened. And you'll know because this here is all cooked, and then when you push on it, it makes like a dent, so it gets like really soft. After 50 minutes, they are done. So the way you can tell, you're just gonna push it here and it's going to go in. So now we're gonna let this cool completely before we flip it over, and then we start taking out everything from the inside. When your pumpkins have cooled, see how nice and tender they are. Just get yourself a bowl and we're gonna start scooping this out. This is great for pumpkin pies, pumpkin empanadas, pumpkin French toast, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin bread, pumpkin pancakes. I mean, there is just so much you can make with puree. And homemade is better, to be honest with you. I'll buy the can if I don't have this, but it's not my preference. Okay, now this is how much I got out of that big pumpkin. Well, that pumpkin wasn't even that big. I would say it was like a medium size because it wasn't huge. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in my stand mixer and we're going to puree this. You can do it with just a whisk. You can do it with a hand mixer. I'm going to do it the lazy way and do it in my stand mixer. Now you're going to just whip it up. That's it, just until it's pureed. Okay, and after a few minutes, it's done. You have your puree. What you can do, if it has too much water, like too much juice, just strain it. But if not, just leave it as is, and then it's ready to use.